wasn't a surprise birthday party. It was a test of his boundaries. You were testing him. This wasn't about him. It was about you and your ego. You wanted to prove to yourself that he loved you more than the boundary.
If they could push your boundaries or do something that you literally told them not to do, and you decide to stay, in their mind, it's like telling them, oh, you must really like me.
At the end of the day, you disrespected your boyfriend, so that's really between you and your man. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Selena, and today we are talking about boundaries and relationship. If you're new here, we like to discuss whatever I want to talk about on the internet, whether it's TikTok tea, or we're talking about a debate, or about some sort of documentary. I don't know, but I just like to talk to you guys. So grab whatever you need. I have my drink of the day, electrolytes. This is the Liquid IV Lemon Lime. One of my favorites, to be honest. What are you drinking? And then do you have snacks when you watch my videos? Grab whatever you need because we are talking about something very interesting. I just saw this video and basically this girl threw a surprise party for her boyfriend and he doesn't like surprise parties. So I want to know what you guys think about this down below. You know what time it is. The creator we're talking about is Eliza Claire. She has a little over 2,400 followers on TikTok. And according to her TikTok, I think she's been with her boyfriend at least for 2 years because they have content going back to 2024. I didn't care that much, so I didn't scroll that far back. Sorry. My dark humor is coming out. But yeah. That's the background. In the video that went viral, the caption says, "Point of view, your boyfriend said he would break up with you if you ever threw him a surprise party." So check out her video. And it is still up, by the way. Oh my gosh, my foot's asleep. Okay, so you can clearly see he just got home. He has his backpack. He could have just been coming back from the gym or from school, but he looks at the party, then looks at her and gives her like a what the heck kind of look. Now, what do you guys think about that? Because to be honest, the first thing that I thought about was playing devil's advocate. What if the roles were reversed? Clearly this guy had a boundary, and as someone who did not have a lot of social cues growing up, to be honest, it made me think about like things that you prefer. Now, sometimes things may not seem like a big deal to someone, but you never know the background. Why does he not want a surprise party? There could be anxiety, or maybe something had happened before, but if the roles were reversed. So it's been a common debate before online if the person who is gonna get proposed to, they share with their partner, hey, I prefer to have a private proposal. I don't want other people there. I don't want it to be in a public setting. I don't want family or friends around, okay? But then they get proposed to in a public setting, and then either A, they feel pressure to say yes, or B, they say no, this is not what I wanted. I've told you this several times. That's what came to mind for me when I saw this video, because clearly the girlfriend did not respect his wishes or his boundary. And we have to be mindful of that too, especially if the roles were reversed. I just feel like that's not fair. And the fact that you filmed that and then posted that, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say the word humiliating, but I just feel like it's disrespectful and it's not considerate of his feelings. So the video is still up, but let's get into some comments because you know that's my favorite part. And then we'll also dive into some responses on TikTok. This is kind of a fresh video, so we don't have that many responses, but we do have some interesting comments. Oh my gosh, that's the top comment. Now imagine you told him I'd never want a public proposal and he proposed to you in public. Why are we going against our partner's wishes? See, we're on the same wavelength. Her replies are even worse than this video, and he immediately looked uncomfortable. Breaking someone's boundaries ain't cute, girl. And she thought we'd agree with her. So here's one of her responses. Hoping bro finds better one day. Eliza says, "All thanks, Isaiah. Hoping you find someone who cares enough to celebrate you." So she's basically saying, look, I threw you this surprise party. I care enough about you to do that. So it's a performance then? Like, it's not really a party for you. It's a party for everybody else, to be honest. And I can't stand that. I hate it when people are doing something for another person who didn't ask for this to be done, but then they use their actions like, see, I did this for you, I did that for you. It's like, no one asked you to do that for me. I'm trying to find a good example. I can't think of one right now. I got pregnancy brain. But do you know what I mean? Or when people do something out of the kindness of their heart, but then they guilt you about it, and it's like, I never asked you to do that. Hope you know the snarky responses don't make you look better, it's simply just disrespectful. And she hearts that. I hope he reads these comments and realizes he deserves better. Eliza says, he's in the comments, baby. So disrespectful. So you used his B-day to do something for yourself. I had that happen to me before, and like, I think it's nice if someone wants to throw you a birthday party, but basically, well, for me, I've had like 3 birthdays in a row where it's just like, it's not really a good celebration or like a good time, because not everyone wants to celebrate their birthdays, for one, or two, it's like, it could be a sad thing because it's technically a milestone that some people celebrate, but when you think about other things like grief, you're like, oh, this is another year without someone, or some people get sad, this is a year older and I'm not where I want to be in life, or something bad has happened on their birthdays. And I've had like 3 birthdays in a row where something bad happened, and I did have this one time where someone claimed to have like a planned thing for me, and which was super nice, and considerate, and then it turned into like a joint thing, and I thought it was going to be at this one house, and then it was at someone else's house that I don't even know, and it was like people that I don't even know, so it just felt like, I don't know, it sounds so bad out loud, but basically it just felt like, hey, we're going to celebrate you, and then actually let's make it a joint thing, but they didn't ask me anything about it. Do you want anyone to be invited there? And it was just their friends and the other birthday person's friends. And then I found out that evening that the other birthday person, they were asked like, what kind of foods do you like? Like, do you prefer this type of cake? Do you prefer this type of entree? I was asked nothing, which is, it's fine. It's whatever. Now I expect it. But for me, I would just prefer not to. Thank you for thinking about my birthday coming up. Thank you for including me. I would just rather not, and I would rather stay home. But that's what this gives, to be honest. Her comment saying, hopefully someone cares enough about you to throw you a birthday party. It's not that simple. And I know it sounds ridiculous out loud. Trust me. But it's like, for me, I would rather have that time and effort with just a meaningful quality time hangout. I don't want to be in a room full of people I don't know. And maybe that's what this guy is feeling. Like, he doesn't want to have surprises. Maybe he likes to have things that are planned. And also, it looks like he's caught off guard. Like, he has his backpack, he has his water bottle. He may not be ready to socialize, so I get it. Disrespecting boundaries is so cute and quirky, right? That's the sarcastic question, by the way. Why would you do it then? Why don't you respect his wishes? So disrespectful. Eliza says, I know, right? The audacity to make a TikTok out of it. This is low-key selfish. And then Eliza says, ugh, I know. Then someone else says, and yet you still did it. Wake up call for him. Hope he finds better. I feel like Eliza's responses, I think they're sarcastic, and then she's kind of like, oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah, I'm selfish, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think she means that. I think it just looks bad. I think you should just ignore it, to be honest, because if your goal was rage bait or getting attention to your page, because it seems like she's been posting here and there before, product reviews or grocery hauls, so kind of like lifestyle content. But yeah, I don't think responding that way is going to get you the right attention you need or want. Nice of you to remind him that his birthday is about you. See, that's the thing too. It just seems like it's about you because he said he doesn't want surprise birthday parties. So, my girlfriend hates spaghetti, so I made her spaghetti for dinner. That's a sarcastic quote, but that's exactly what it is. You could say like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Be grateful about food, that you got something to eat, or be grateful that she thought of you to do a whole surprise party. But it's, again, the principle. And I feel like it is that deep because if you've been with him for 2 years, perceivably, if that's a word, right? This pregnancy brain is like killing me this week. But yeah, if you have known this person for 2 years, they do say you fully know someone when you've known them for 4 years, but anyways, you would know by now. Ideally, you would have 2 birthdays spent with this person. You would kind of know what they like or what they prefer, or if they've expressed that they want to do something before. Same thing with a meal. If they truly do not like something and then that's what you prepare for them, it's more so about you. You're not being considerate of what they like. Yes, I think people should be grateful for things, but that's not what we're talking about here. That's not the principle. So she had a couple response photos on TikTok, And this one says, me after disrespecting every boundary my boyfriend has by throwing him a birthday party. Okay. So we do have a bit more context. It looks like it's his 21st. You know, to give Eliza some grace, she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is a milestone, like the big 21. He can legally drink alcohol in the US now. You know, it's cute. Like, she has this little backdrop with the balloons, and maybe she made this banner in the back, Harrison's lucky 21st, and like this cute little card, and a cute little dog. But, I mean, you can see it in his face. He just like... like, I'm here. And, okay, it is sweet, like, that effort that she put in, gathering people. We don't know how many people were there, making the poster, making the card, but I don't know, if I were him, and I could be assuming, but if I'm someone that does not like surprise parties, and I get a surprise party, I think that would just be... like, I assume he would be miserable, or at least really uncomfortable. Maybe he warmed up. Some of the comments under this photo said, oh, you know what? She's responding to Shonda. Shonda is life coach Sean. I follow her on TikTok. She has really good takes, but let's watch her response video real quick, because I guess this video is a response to her, which don't come for Shonda. Okay, don't do that.
This wasn't a surprise birthday party. It was a test of his boundaries. You were testing him. And you could tell by the look on his face, he was trying to process everything in real time. I really told this girl not to do this, and she did it anyway. What is she thinking? I don't care if a boundary makes sense to you or not, if you think it's silly or not, if you think it's a waste of time or not. It's not up to you to decide if it should or shouldn't be upheld. Especially if you think you're going to stay in their life. They don't owe it to you to prove to you that they love you more than the boundary. It's toxic to even expect them to do so. If he broke up with you that very same night or that very same moment, he would be well within his right to do so. Because what you don't do is take what somebody has made a clear boundary and do it anyway. This wasn't about him. It was about you and your ego. You wanted to prove to yourself that he loved you more than the boundary.
Her caption, I'm just now noticing, it says, at Shonda, I promise he's okay, BBG. Maybe she meant baby, but... what does BBG mean? You guys know I kind of struggle with like the newest slang. Beautiful baby girl or baby girl? Okay, interesting. The comments under this photo say, oh, they babies. She not endgame. He will be okay. Heart. I'm asking this as a genuine question and not even someone assuming y'all are going to break up. Why plan something for his birthday you know he didn't want? Like, why this instead of putting thought into something you know he would love? My favorite birthdays are the ones where I felt so seen and known by the people who care for me, and it brings me a lot of joy to do that in return. Yeah, see, I like that. I agree with that. And so I'm trying not to project too, just because I've had just some really, really sad birthdays before, but just knowing that he doesn't like surprises, it's like, why would you do that? Maybe he likes planned birthday parties, just not surprises. We don't know what he wants. Someone says, disrespect is still disrespect, no matter the severity. It creates resentment over time, and it's not a healthy dynamic. Some of us are not secure enough in ourselves to call out the disrespect. In fear of making your partner upset and for it to cause a further headache or escalation, or them somehow leaving you. A lot of us play along, but deep down it hurts, and the mental note of your disregard is kept and stored. What's the most upsetting part of all this is the celebration was really never for him, but more so a performance for your own validation and to receive that from others. There's no shame in introspection and being better. Try it and it will help you both. Keegan, I like how you worded that. Sometimes I can't get the words out, but what you said, I agree with. Someone says, OMG, I don't know why he broke up with me. She also has another response, like video, and it says, me reading death threats after making a joke about my boyfriend saying he didn't want a surprise party. And we've talked about this before. I don't think death threats are okay. No matter what, like, especially on an online platform, you really never know who's making those threats. Yeah, it's just not okay to do that, death threats in general. People dox each other all the time. They find you, okay, on the internet. And so that's scary. So yeah, don't send any hate to anybody. But that is what her caption said. Now she's saying she's making a joke that he doesn't like surprise birthday parties, but I don't know, we saw his face. We saw his face twice that night when he walked in the door and in that 21st birthday photo. And his face did not look super happy to me, but you don't have to have a happy face all the time. Eliza does have a comment in that video, and it says, PSA, him saying he didn't want a surprise party was 2 years ago. It was as a joke because he is type A and likes knowing the plan. He was on board when he walked in. He was just shocked because he didn't suspect anything. Much love, XO. Girl, you just contradicted yourself. I feel like she's saying, hey, that was 2 years ago. He changed. Nuh-uh. Because what you just said, it was a joke because he is type A. He likes knowing the plan. If he likes knowing the plan, then why was he shocked? He didn't suspect anything. That makes no sense. Let me know if I'm missing something, but that makes no sense. He was shocked because he didn't suspect anything. He says he doesn't like surprises 2 years ago. Okay, he may still not like surprises. If she is implying like, hey, it was actually okay, he knew something was going on but didn't know the details, that's different, but you did not indicate that. If she would have said, hey, this is a party he knew was happening or a gathering, he just didn't know how extravagant it would have been or what time, or he didn't know when the party was going to be at, that's a different story.
One of the things that I've learned over time, especially from doing what I do, is that there are people who genuinely, they just can't wait to try you. They cannot wait to push your boundaries because in their mind, it's like it's an indicator of how much they like it. If they could push your boundaries and do something that you literally told them not to do, and you decide to stay, in their mind, it's like telling them, oh, you must really like me. Or you're willing to go against your boundaries for me, so I must be so important. Why would you even post this? You could literally see the look in his face like, bro, I told you not to do this. And you posted it. Some of y'all are genuinely weird. Like some of y'all are actually strange. Something is off.
So you're saying you don't like something but people did it anyway? Wild. Genuinely, like, these people don't even know you. I guess this person's kind of defending her, like, hey, these people don't know you. It's okay. She hearted that and she said, like, it gets to a point. Someone responds to that and says, like, she doesn't know her man. Reason number, blah, 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 I couldn't be an influencer. And that's the thing too, like, when you are online, whether you're an influencer or not, people say some stuff. I've gotten comments when I didn't do long form videos that were crazy and diabolical. And some of the stuff you just kind of have to like roll off your back or not respond to. I kind of see it this way. That's not the worst thing that's been said to me in my life. Or again, you don't know these people, so it's kind of different, but I don't think that's necessarily going to stop her. At the end of the day, you disrespected your boyfriend, so that's really between you and your man, not between us. So I don't think you should have included TikTok in your group chat. But, it's whatever. Hopefully he had a good birthday. Hopefully there's no more surprises if he doesn't like that. But whatever. Alright, y'all, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you thought about this in the comment section down below. I do not know when this video is going to be up. But as you guys know, I am about to give birth soon. So I'm trying to plan ahead. But either way, if I don't get a lot of my long form content uploaded regularly, you can also find me on my personal channel on YouTube, selenajosephina.2. I also post some TikToks here and there. Sometimes short form is a little bit easier for me to do. If you want to see me there, that's more so like personal stuff. But this channel is my commentary channel. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe. If you don't, I just appreciate you being here. And I will see y'all in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!